Hey, it's Ben Wise, and tonight I'm at TLC Fitness, and we're talking about BikeErg, specifically damper setting. So the first thing that you'll probably notice, even if you've been on other Concept 2 machines before, is that the damper of the BikeErg is significantly bigger than the rower or the ski-erg. And that's actually shown in terms of like the metrics that are on here. It's the paces are out of 1K versus 500 meters. So typically paces are about twice as fast on here relative to rowing or skiing, which makes sense if people actually bike. So basically you can think of the damper setting, which has a correlating drag factor on here, as gears on a bike. So you wouldn't necessarily ride on the same gear the entire time, whereas it's actually pretty widely accepted among people who do time trials that you're going to have an optimal drag factor for rowing or skiing, and even if you're doing stuff that's pretty quick or a little bit slower, it's not going to deviate a whole lot. Like, it'll be pretty consistent throughout. Like, they might tweak it, but like people who are the best in the world, like, yeah, my 5K time trial drag factor is a 117 or something. Like, they have it down. Whereas like a cyclist, they're going to be moving through gears based on terrain and other elements. Obviously we don't have terrain on here, but you are going to be potentially switching your pace up depending on what workout demands of you. So basically what you want to be thinking about is, as I'm at a lower RPMs, so like lower strokes per minute, as I'm moving around, I also am going to be at a slightly lower damper setting and a lower rating of perceived exertion. So everything's going to be low. As I build, like say like it's a moderate RPM, so maybe I'm at like the 90 range, I'm also going to maybe pump up my damper setting just maybe a notch, like maybe literally 1 or a half of 1. And I'm also going to have a higher rating of perceived exertion. And then if I'm doing a sprint, I'll bump it up again a little bit, and then I'm going to be holding a much higher cadence and also a higher RPE. So think of it as everything's going to be matched. Like if I want to go a little bit harder, I'm going to move it up just a hair, but I'm also going to bump up my RPMs. So for example, if I'm doing like a moderate effort over maybe a several minutes, I might be averaging like 90 to 95 RPMs, which would be like a kind of a good general recommendation. And I'm going to have my damper setting maybe slightly below 5. And I think for a lot of people who are even like pretty good athlete, you don't need to go above 5 on the damper setting. I think for most people, if you see that your RPMs are falling below, certainly below 80, you need to bring that down. Or if you realize that you're blowing up in workouts just way too early, that's another sign that you can just bring it down a little bit, hold a little bit higher RPMs, and you'll be better off. So people in general should be holding slightly higher RPMs and a slightly lower damper setting on here, and then allow yourself to build into the workout and to see what paces you can actually hold and a correlating damper setting that will actually make sense for that. So that's my spiel on damper setting, on RPMs, on stroke rate, pedal stroke rate. And yeah, as always, let me know if you got any questions. Head over to ZOAR Fitness for movement breakdowns and one-on-one coaching for the sport of fitness.